Welcome, Collins here for the TeamTinySnowyHop. Today I'm creating this snowflake themed card. Let's go to the products I use. From CheeryLynn Design, I'm going to use these two snowflake dies. They're about 2 inches in diameter, and I'm going to cut them twice. Actually, I'm going to cut them 3 times, as I should say. Twice from regular white cardstock and once from shimmering cardstock. I'm going to use both designs. And then here's the shimmering cardstock I'm using. This is from Colorbok. It's called Glacier White. From the Maker's Movement, I'm going to use the Warm Wishes, and I'm only going to use the 3 little snowflake dies. From Recollections, I'm using the Enchanted collection. This is Unicorn and Rainbow, Unicorns and Mermaids. I'm going to use the Like You stamp and a little strip there. Some 65-pound weight light blue cardstock, 85-pound weight navy cardstock, and 110-pound top folding landscape style card base for our card. Alright, so I'm also going to be using, I'm going to bring in an oldie here, some Sizzlits. These are from Sizzix, and they were they're font dies that they used to have a long time ago. I don't even think they have these anymore. But this is called Girls Are Weird. That's the name of the font. And I'm going to use that to cut out my letters. Alright, so I'm going to bring in some distress oxides. I'm going to use tumbled glass, speckled egg, and faded jeans. I'm going to use that to create an ombre effect to die cut our letters. And I'm going to bring in, for the Maker's Movement, some snowflakes. And these are snowflakes in white, light blue, and a medium blue. Alright, so let's get started with our card. Excuse me. I'm going to start by putting the Distress Oxide using a blending brush onto the light blue cardstock. I'm going to create this nice little ombre effect, and we're just going to brush it on, starting with the faded jeans towards the bottom. Then I'll move on to speckled egg and then top it off with some tumbled glass. I'm just going to blend it all in, and I'm going to leave, I'm only going to do a portion of it because I don't need all this cardstock. But I need enough to cut out all my letters and one of the snowflakes for our sentiment. So here I am moving into the speckled egg, and then I'll just keep going until I have a nice blend between the colors. I'm going to bring in a little bit more of our faded jeans here to darken that up and blend it in. And I wipe between colors on my microfiber cloth that I have set to the side. So here we're going to bring in the tumbled glass, and the tumbled glass is just a shade darker than my actual cardstock, or I should say a little bit brighter blue. So if I should cut to a little bit higher and I end up with the cardstock, I end up with nice another shade of blue. Alright, so I have that there, and the reason why I did it just on blue is so that I didn't have to spend a lot of time adding a lot of ink to get the blend. So now I'm going to bring in some Shimmer spray. It's a tongue twister, I tell you. In Frost and in Sparkle. These are from Imagine Crafts, and you have to shake them up really well because all the mica sits on the bottom. And once you get them all shaken well, you can spray them. But I'm just going to remove the nozzle and just tap it, the spray onto my panel here. And I'm going to do both of these. I did the Sparkle, and I'm going to do the Frost, the same thing. The Frost is more of a white, and the Sparkle is just sparkly. And I have these in a variety of colors. They have it in silver, and they have it in gold. Okay, so now I'm going to do that, and I'm going to heat set not only my ink, but all that spray. And I saved you some time. I did that off camera. Also off camera, I went ahead and cut all my letters. So now you can see the letters now have that beautiful ombre, the darker blue towards the bottom, and they fade up to the top with those little shimmery dots on them. And any of that cardstock that was left over, I'll save for another project. So here are our snowflake. Here's the glitter one. Let's see if it'll catch it. There you can see it's getting caught in the light. And then the 2 other ones out of the plain cardstock. And here's the other design. I also cut out the little snowflakes out of the glitter cardstock, and that's a really lightweight cardstock, but it's perfect for this project. And here's the little one for our sentiment, and that's the little small snowflake. Now here's the little strip that comes, that I die cut using the little strip that comes in that stamp and die set from Recollections. And I'm going to stamp out the sentiment onto that. Here I trimmed a little bit off my navy panel so that I have a nice little white edge all around my card. So this sentiment reads, I like you, but I'm not going to stamp the part that says I. I'm just going to use the like you. So I'm going to ink it up, just making sure not to ink up my I. And if I do, I'll just wipe off any ink that may have gotten on it. I'm going to put this as straight as possible on here. Please excuse my head. And I'm going to stamp it onto that little strip. Now I'm going to set that aside for our card. Now all our stamping and inking is done, so I can remove that and we can proceed to build our card. I'm going to bring in my Xyron Creative Station Lite. This is a giant sticker maker, for a better description of anything. This little machine creates anything you put into it into a sticker. With these adhesive cartridges, they come in repositionable and permanent. The one I have in here is permanent. They also come with a laminating, for code laminating cartridge, and a magnet cartridge that you can put anything you place through there into a magnet. So you just slide it through, turn the handle, and then there's this little trimmer here, and you just press it down like you do with your regular trimmer, and it'll cut everything off. You close it, push the handle in, and it's nice and compact. Again, that's the Xyron Creative Station Lite. It's like their little X machine. I don't know if you've seen that one. It's just makes anything you put through it into a sticker. I like to burnish all my edges to get as much of the adhesive that may be sticking around it or outside of it, of my objects. Just clear it away. So now I'm going to gently remove this snowflake because it is very delicate, and that's why I chose to do it this way. I was going to put liquid adhesive, and then I was worried about it being so delicate and tearing it. So you can see now it's a sticker. So now I'm going to line up to one point of my snowflake, and the main thing is to get your center lined up. And once you get that, all the little arms or legs, whatever you want to call it, of your snowflake, then it will easily line up. And I'm just going to stack the two plain ones, and then I'll stack my glitter one on top. I like to keep a piece of the backing paper, and I like to use it to help me burnish my pieces down, because the adhesive here, although it's permanent, it gives you a little wiggle room. So until you burnish it down, you can move it and reposition it. Once you burnish it, it is good. It is stuck on there. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to just, here I'm putting the glitter one on top. I have them all stacked, and I burnish it. And I repeated that with both of my large snowflakes. Now I'm bringing in some art glitter glue to adhere my navy panel to my card base. And again, I have that little edge all the way around. Sort of creates that nice soft little mat. And I'm going to peel off one of my snowflakes here. Now there's, in the little holes of the snowflake, there was still some of the adhesive sticking there, and I just used my little pokey tool there and removed it. And as you can see, I can still move them because I just gently placed them. Until I burnish them down, they are still, I can still move them around. And I'm going to work now on my letters, and I'm going to start off here just using my tweezers, trying to line them up. And I'm going to quickly realize that's not going to work for me. So I'm going to get my letter out first. The S is a little finicky. And I quickly get my T ruler because I was putting those down way crooked. So I get the T ruler out, get everything going, and I start placing my letters down across here. And as you can see, I have one of the O for my snow is used. I used one of those little snowflake dies to cut it out. So here I'm just building my word Snowone, trying to get everything lined up. And I will continue to adjust the larger snowflakes on either end, because I put one to the left and one to the right, upper and lower here, and I will adjust them because I want them to just touch the letters. Right now they're kind of separated. once I remove the ruler, it's easier for me to see, you know, what I need to adjust. And I have a little adhesive there, and I will take any extra adhesive off. It rubs off. You have a little bit of time to rub it off before it becomes permanent. Alright, so now I'm going to adjust this one here because I want it just to touch my S so that it connects. And I have the one on the bottom touching the end, the base of the end. So I'm going to add the other little snowflakes that I cut from the glitter cardstock. And I'm placing them around my sentiment. Now here's our little strip that I stamped that says "Like You." I'm adding a little low profile foam adhesive to the back of it. And I'm going to place it just under the W and in between the bottom part of the end leg there that's sticking out and touching our bottom snowflake. So everything just connects beautifully. So I'm used there was an adhesive eraser Xyron sells these to remove any excess adhesive that may be still on there. Alright, so I'm bringing a little art glitter glue here, and I'm going to do little dots of glue throughout my card because I'll be putting the little clay shaker sprinkles from Maker's Movement. I'm sorry. They're called shaker sprinkles from Maker's Movement. These are the snowflakes, and these are come in white, light blue, and medium blue. And I'm just going to adhere those to the card, placing them around our sentiment and our snowflakes. And one more right here. It just needed a little touch there. Now you can add a little more sparkle and shine if you would like, but I think having those big glittery snowflakes looks wonderful. So now our card is finished. Oh, I have a little bit of adhesive still there, and so I'm trying to get it all out. So there, our card is finished. I'm trying to see if you can pick up some of that shine of those snowflakes. They're really nice and shiny, and then you have just a little speckles of shine on the words, and they're just little dots, so they look like even smaller, little tinier snowflakes. Alright, so we use our distress oxides in faded jeans, speckled egg, and tumbled glass to create that ombre effect on our cardstock, along with our shimmer sprays. These are from Imagine Crafts, and we use the sparkle and the frost to add those little speckles of snow. From the Maker's Movement, we use the Warm Wishes. We use those 3 little star dies, and snowflake dies. And then from Recollections, we use that stamp set and die. From CheeryLynn Designs, I use those 2 snowflakes. And again, from the Maker's Movement, we use those little clay embellishments. Of course, like always, I'll have everything listed in the description box below. Don't forget to go use the hashtag TeamTinySnowyHop so you can find the next person in the hop. If I get the name, I will place it in the description box below. Thank you for being here, and I hope you found some inspiration.